Hello again. The environmental organization Green Connection has welcomed the latest Saldanha Karpowership refusal. This comes as civil society organizations have been preparing to challenge a possible decision by government to give Karpowership yet another opportunity to amend its environmental impact assessment. Neville Van Rooy is with the community, or he is in fact the community outreach coordinator at the Green Connection. A very good evening to you, Neville. Good to have your time. So let's talk about what's happened here, this latest, shall we say, temporary blockage as far as Karpowership and its ambitions in South Africa.
Yes, we have definitely, since the beginning, we have been watching a close eye on Karpowership processes, and the processes is very important for us that the processes go correctly, that it does not infringe on the people's rights and also the rights of the environment. That is very crucial for us, and therefore we are keeping a close eye continually on this type of development that is coming our way.
What the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment has done is refused a request from Karpowership for condemnation and an extension of the environmental authorization application. What would that entail, and why is it so significant in whether this goes ahead or not?
Yeah, you know, this condemnation application did not indicate how requirements for submissions of environmental impact assessment report and specialist report would be met. So based on that, it was refused. And we know that EIA processes is very important, and it's crucial that process, according to the National Environmental Management Act, need to, be inclusive and also include the voices and the opinions of the affected communities, especially communities like the small-scale fishers. And this is why we are so very strict on and watching a close eye on the processes. And the process needs to, give people the right information, the full information. One of the examples, for example, in Saldanha Bay, that the fishers has raised very early in this development, that is the underground water noise modeling information that was missing. And that is crucial, that needs to be given to affected people so that they can make a meaningful decision to allow or not allow such development into their territory.
You've touched on it slightly, but for the benefit of people who aren't too familiar with the Karpowership story, basically a simplistic explanation would be it would be these massive ships which would dock, then they would help or be used in helping to supply electricity for the country. But you and the other organizations are concerned about the environmental impact, right? Let's start with what that impact would likely be as things stand, and whether there's anything that they could ever do actually in their submissions to convince you that the good would outweigh the bad.
Yeah, we're talking about floating power plants here that will be on these ships in the 3 harbors, and it will be using gas as a fuel source. And we're talking liquid natural gas, which is a fossil gas. And LNG, liquid natural gas, it's frack gas. It's a fossil fuel. It contribute to carbon emissions, not just on the place where it's fracked, but all the way where it's transported, and all the way when you are talking about having these ships for 20 years, it will be causing, contributing to carbon emissions. And that is about one concern. And then we have a concern about the underground infrastructure of these ships. You're talking about pipelines. You're talking about hot water that will possibly be, pumped in and out in that ecosystem that is very, very sensitive. And also pointed out, like the small-scale fishers I work with in Saldanha Bay, was the ecosystem and the fact that there is a breeding zone that could possibly be harmed in the way as well. And we're talking about for 20 years, they can definitely not allow that in their sphere. And we're also talking about fish that they highly eat in this area, and that is some of the concerns that we have around these ships.
But briefly, this refusal by the department is but a temporary, shall we say, delay, right? It doesn't mean that this is all gone for good.
No, it is definitely temporary, but we are hoping, we are keeping our information and also our resistant actions ongoing, because we do not want any more fossil fuels. We are moving, we're in a climate crisis, and we need to move away from fossil fuels. There are other alternatives. So why are these gas ships of this type of development rushed and forced on ordinary South Africans? Why is there not other alternatives, given the fact that the country has loads of renewable energy potential? Why is that not being given to us as well? Why gas ships?
Neville Van Rooy.
So that is some of the things we are concerned about. Thanks.
Neville, thank you so much. Neville Van Rooy is the outreach coordinator at the Green Connection. Thank you for your time tonight.